I'm excited as ever. Last episode did tremendous. Thank you all. If you watched that and are returning, and we ended that episode talking about Emilia Perez. We got a lot of people talking about it, and I think it might come up in this video because we're talking the worst movies we've ever... Well, I'm going to be going over the ones I've seen. You decided to also talk about ones you haven't seen, which are our favorite movies to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, they're not the worst. They're bad.
Movies.
They may be some of them. You know, I mean, we probably wanted to get the worst, but you forget bad movies. You know what I mean? Mm. You really take some soul searching to really think about really bad movies. But, yeah, Emilia is going to be there.
I say we just start right out of the gates with it. I would say it is one of the worst movies I've seen. We got a lot of comments, and I think maybe as good a way to start talking about this is to discuss the comments. There's a few of them, and we appreciate every single comment we get. Definitely be sure to comment on this video. But the first one said, "Oh, thank God, I was worried your title was serious." And the title of the video, of course, is "You're Too Stupid to Get Emilia Perez." Okay, this one's a really long one, but it was well written, so I'm going to read it in its entirety. This is from @MichaelO'Bregan-X1M. Emilia Perez, in case you like this movie, okay. Agree. We all have different tastes for movies, and then I would assume you are not Mexican. You want to talk about the facts? Well, here are the facts. This movie only shows all the cliches about Mexican culture and uses them, exploits them in the cheapest Hollywood representation way to show display Mexican culture society. There are mariachi bands and dangerous streets in every city in Mexico. Yes, really. This film is about Mexico and yet has no Mexican actors. Yes, no good actors in Mexico, really. What is the best way to show Mexico's social problems? Yes, a narco musical. A film about a Mexican family and the mother does not speak Mexican Spanish. This movie is about the reality of life in Mexico and was shot in Paris. If you go to a restaurant or coffee shop in any city in Mexico, you'll be kidnapped. The songs in the movie have nothing to do with Mexican culture. No Mexican singers. I can't freaking understand why this movie has more Oscar nominations than Casablanca, The Lord of the Rings, Chicago, The Revenant, Forrest Gump, and Schindler's List. I like some of the movies you mentioned there. FYI, true story. The Mexican journalists and students of cinematography had scheduled a meeting with director Joaquin Audiard at Cineteca Nacional, located in Mexico City on January 14th. Needless to say, everybody was waiting for him, and guess what? He canceled at the last minute. Coward. Please talk about the facts. That's why most people in Mexico do not like this film. In short, this movie is stupidity at its finest. And quite frankly, I think let's just dissect some of the points brought up there, because I don't know if I could have laid out a step-by-step. There's plot points that I definitely want to get into as well. But here's the thing. You want to be the movie that preaches, hey, there's a societal value to what I'm showing.
For the movie.
Yeah, whether it be like the Mexican culture and a group of disadvantaged people that are admittedly very hot in the news right now. I mean, it gets much more news coverage than people who transition. We can agree, right? That gets talked about.
Oh, yeah.
More than you would suspect.
He did a really, really good job. I don't even think, and no offense to his comment was very good. There's even more things. I mean, the LGBTQ or GLAAD, you know of GLAAD, right? That's for
you discussed it last.
Gay Lesbian Alliance something. They didn't like it. Mm-hmm. I mean, so they didn't do a good job on that front either. Now, they made Mexico look like it was in an active war zone, kind of. So yeah, that part's true, but that's only a portion of its failures. I mean, this is going to go down as like The Room, like a notoriously horrid movie that is so bad that it's good, I think.
Possibly.
Like over pandering,
In that regard, yes.
Yeah,
in that regard.
just poor, just so many mistakes made. I didn't realize there wasn't any Mexican singers or actors in it. I'll give you.
Because you're colorblind.
Yeah, because I'm colorblind. There is a movie that, if you ever saw the movie Traffic, that movie is profound in the way that it portrays, like, the problems Mexico has regarding the drug trade. Mm-hmm. And Javier
Bardem.
Yeah, no, not him. Oh, dang it.
Benicio del Toro.
Yes. Who is really, I mean, that's the first time I saw him, and I'm like, I hope I see this guy a lot more. He was insanely good in that movie. But he was just, because he was an honest cop. He was just trying to fight, and, he was against the army. He was against, there was just corruption, and he just showed, the hopelessness and futility of trying to be an honest cop involved in the Mexican drug trade. That told me something about Mexico. Mm-hmm. Really did. Very profound. This, I mean, I don't, it's filmed in Paris. I did not know that.
Well, the director is a Parisian.
Well, I don't care.
But why should he have to leave home to film a movie?
Yeah, God forbid.
He should have filmed it in his house, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, this should have been all the
And everyone who thinks that that's wrong,
how with you?
Maybe you're wrong. Did you ever think about that?
Yeah.
But
hey, we like to comment. We really do, because we read them too. And like a lot of places, I used to leave comments.
I respond to most of them, unless they're
well. That's good, because
really
I used to, everybody, they see something, they just really, really want to say something to leave a comment, and it's like basically screaming into the wind. Mm-hmm. But if somebody reads it, I don't know. I think it means something. If you take the time to comment on, our recording, it's meaningful. I think, I don't know. To some extent, it's a connection of some sort between, what we're doing and what we're hoping you get out of it. So we appreciate that.
Yeah, I think honestly, if there were to be not like not to make this more meaningful than it really is, but if there was a mission for this channel, it is to have a bit of a community. That's what I would like.
I thought this was about world hunger. That's what you told me when I started.
That's step 5.
Okay, well, okay, we're
only at step 2 right
we gotta crawl before we fly.
Yeah, exactly.
Or something.
The spaceships. That's step 4.
Right.
But
world dominance.
If you call me the big cheese in your comment, I'm just warning you right now. I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be pissed at you.
It's not because he does fart a lot, and so people call him that. And he hates it.
People called me that in high school, and I still can't get away from that nickname.
You want to eat cheese.
And you guys, I don't know how you heard about it, but I'm not happy about it. But for me, I can't even begin to get past just the overall plot point of it, because it's so ridiculous. When a plot like that has such a glaring, obvious weakness to it, it's hard for me to even dig deeper.
The fact that he's a drug lord and wants to transition, that one?
No, and that he's automatically becomes a better person.
Oh.
That is not... That doesn't... Look, I know you physically change a lot, in that if you are to start a new leaf, maybe if you don't have the power of a drug lord, it'll change you a little bit, but it's not... I don't know. That's just something that I think is ridiculous. I quite honestly think all of the characters are dislikable. That's not a negative, though. Sometimes that can work in your favor.
Oh, yeah. But some are meant to be,
Exactly.
What's her name?
Think this film was...
What is her name? I always get it mixed up. The attorney? What was her name?
She is in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. She's actually a pretty decent actress.
She looked like she hadn't slept. Yeah. I don't know if you remember. She looked incredibly tired.
She's a method actor.
Okay,
I think she was maybe supposed to look that way because she's a lawyer.
And she's supposed to work all the time.
Working 9 to 5.
More.
What a way to make a living.
Yeah, don't do that anymore. But we may women.
But yeah, that's
Yeah, but then that was another. I mean, I didn't see very much of it. I mean,
it's just it's
like there's the trope of women, don't get their due, and I mean it's somewhat true, and probably way more true in Mexico and so forth. But it's not like we've ever seen that in a movie. Okay, you have a lot of bizarre other elements to cover.
Yeah,
so
and
right
they
out
just
of the
kind
gate,
of gloss over them as though it's like
okay, here
you're
checking boxes.
Yeah.
There was that, and then I don't get enough credit. It's like, well, strike out on your own. Come, sneak across the border like 10 million of your compatriots have. Become a lawyer here. All right? You'll make money. Trust me.
Very true. But on top of that, the music is really bad. There's maybe one or two songs that are actually like decent to good. And there's some that are just... Did you hear the one where she's talking to the doctor?
In the beginning?
Yeah.
When she first gets to the...
Where it's a musical one and she's
Yeah.
Dude, is that not the worst fucking musical song you've ever heard?
Yeah. Why do you make a musical about self-mutilation or something?
But it's so fucking stupid.
It's so whimsical for like the subject matter.
There's no like penis to vagina is one of the lyrics.
Well, truth in advertising. Yeah, I know.
The movie plays better.
I heard it. I'm like, as a comedy or a parody or something.
I'm convinced the Oscars, Cannes, and the critics know that it's a parody, and I'm too stupid to actually get that it really is parody. Because if it's a parody,
it's not bad.
It's really good. Maybe a 5 out of 5.
It might be. I don't think it is.
I don't think it is either.
I mean, that's terrible that we're not sure after watching it.
Some of it
I remember,
so good.
like you were saying,
it's parody.
When she goes in and the doctor's lyrics.
They got a fucking Asian guy who's like penis to vagina. I'm not going to do the accent, but...
Men to woman, or woman to men.
Man to woman.
From penis to vagina.
You heard it if you listen to the movie.
Was it in like a Chinese accent? I can't remember.
He had a slight accent.
Okay, no.
Which all music should have slight accents.
Okay. Well, they were
country.
They
love
were in
country
Bangkok.
music,
weren't they? They were in Bangkok.
They're somewhere, yeah.
They're Bangkok, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is Thailand. I think Thailand, whatever.
What's the capital of Thailand? Bangkok, and you punch your friend in the nuts as hard as you possibly can.
And then you find a new friend.
And you teach them a lesson.
Won't be your friend anymore.
It's be prepared. Always be prepared. But this person, they sound more understanding of like even the liberal gripe with this film. And I understand that because like, look, if it was
something conservatives and liberals can agree on.
Both hate.
It's so stupid and bad. It's like pandering and it's stereotypical and whatever. I don't know.
Because if it wasn't so demonstrably pandering in its messaging, the lack of substance is what makes that egregious and honestly disgusting, in my opinion. If it was very artfully done,
yeah, I think
I would at
be
least
really
be able to
hard.
Respect the artistic integrity of it.
Yeah, I think.
And I would forgive if it made you look if it made you look at it in a different way. It's a very touchy subject matter. You need precision and artistry in a big way to make people actually, hey, this is a great movie.
There's a way to do that. I mean, in a way, I guess maybe I'm not sure what the goal was, but you would think it would be to have people have a more sympathetic view for people who feel that they want to transition, or people who have, or whatever. And that's completely. I mean, I think that would be. It may be a difficult movie to make, but it's something.
I think it's been made before. Is the thing?
What
I don't remember the title, but okay. Shit. I'm trying to think of roles you would know. There's one. I think it's called The Good either The Good Nurse or The Good Doctor. Have you seen that? It has the redheaded girl from
Zero Dark 30.
Zero Dark 30.
Yeah.
And she is a nurse, and she gets hooked up with this other nurse who is actually killing patients. Spoiler alert.
Oh yeah, that has.
You seen that?
Yes.
Oh, no, okay. So the bad guy,
Yeah.
is in a movie where he is. I don't know if he's actually transsexual, but he dresses like. I don't know if you're supposed to say that. I'll bleep
I'm
it.
sorry, but there's nothing wrong with that at all.
I just think YouTube will.
Okay, no,
out.
I'm just saying,
Oh yeah,
as a concept.
You didn't say slur. You just said
No, not at
one
all.
of the many
that's
words
been around
YouTube
forever.
doesn't.
They've been doing
doesn't
that.
like.
They did that in Roman times.
Well, yeah, whatever. But
well, anyway, that movie. I mean, now I'm going off a little bit. He was really good in that movie. He creeps
He's a
you
good-
out.
and I think he does very good in that role too.
I would like to see it because I thought, if you got a really good actor, and in that one, The Good Nurse, in one scene, he comes over to her house,
And you're like,
you felt,
he might kill this chick in her own home.
but the way he was doing it was so insinuated, but not direct, and
Yeah, I don't know if it's passive aggressiveness, what he was like amazing at, but it was like the read between the lines. Like
Yes,
he
yes,
could,
yes.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's playing poker and
not like I'm going to kill you, but
well, he's
You never
he's
know.
reading her, but
yeah,
yeah, laying down the cookie crumbs.
He was yes. How was he killing the pig?
So in the IVs, he was putting
not diabetes. He's insulin.
yeah, he was putting insulin into the IV bags, and
He just got off on
he was putting a needle
into the
it.
bag, and
And she found out he put it in fucking 20 bags. Maybe
she didn't want to
more.
have anything to do with it. I don't blame her because the cops are like, "Do you know this guy?" Blah blah blah, and all that, and and she becomes a whistleblower.
Because the hospital was all too fine with just brushing it under the carpet.
Yeah, people died. Kind of
Yeah.
attitude. Yeah.
I think it's because it maybe opens them up to
Oh my god. Yes.
lawsuits.
Yeah. Very bad press.
Yeah,
Which
very
hospitals
bad press.
don't want that.
But that is kind of common too, that they just push bad employees. I don't know about the hospitals if they do that. Maybe they do, but you know about it with teachers and with priests. That's what they do.
Well,
They're like,
definitely
instead
with
of taking
priests,
the
yeah.
negative press,
Yeah.
we got a P. Diddy on our team.
That's-
Just move them out west or...
Yeah. It's like, we're not firing you, but
You
I
gotta
really
move.
think you should
And they'll
change
just do that.
careers.
They'll just fucking kick you around for 20 years, and then you have a laundry list of kids that
Yeah.
were diddied
Yeah.
or diddled. I mean, there was a teacher at my school who's still teaching. They just said, you gotta go. Sucks to suck, but you can't teach here no more.
Right.
But he's teaching elsewhere. You have a moral obligation. I'm sorry, that's fucked up.
That's more than a moral. That's a legal obligation.
Yeah. I mean, he was
if that ever
texting girls.
comes out,
And it's an open secret. Everyone
somebody
in the
blows a
fucking
whistle,
school,
everybody's going down, and they should because
I'll call
that's
the
a
news
zero
right now.
tolerance, man. They talk about zero tolerance in schools. It means, well, if we think it's not going to be
That's never
too
meant
much
anything.
of our, it's going to be a problem for us. It's good to go. Basically,
That's just PR speak.
yeah, I know, but it is a legal matter.
Oh, dude,
You know,
I
like-
completely. That's so fucked.
You're a what are they called? They're mandated reporters.
Yeah.
I
All
mean,
the
if you have a
teachers
license,
are.
you can
All the
lose your
teachers
license.
are.
Yeah,
And if I knew about it,
I
I bet the fucking teachers knew about it.
yeah.
But
Or at least heard rumors, and what they did were just.
and someone should have been like,
I don't know if
dude,
it's true or not. I heard something.
is this? I'm hearing shit. Did you fucking do this?
Yeah.
The reason he got caught is he was texting the principal's daughter.
Whoa. So he's stupid too.
He was smart at what he taught, but apparently not at other things.
His social intelligence was lacking a little bit on that. Hey, Dad, why is Mr. Jones texting?
They
What? Let me see
They
that.
liked each other, but I think once they broke up,
They didn't like each other so much.
That's what they say about workplace relationships.
Good love and gone bad. That's
Yeah.
what they call it. Yeah, and that's when they call in the lawyers.
That's when the house of cards came crumbling.
Yeah.
Next comment, you must be kidding. I was, with the title at least. Next comment, if you're wondering why your video has so little views, it's because the title is a complete turnoff. Emilia Perez is objectively a terrible movie, and just stating the obvious would have sufficed. Maybe you're right. I think the video did okay view-wise, and yeah, the movie's terrible. Maybe this next...
I don't understand what...
I don't understand what they're saying.
It's not like you said this is a masterpiece, did you?
Well, I said you're too stupid to get it.
That's a hook. Come on, man. What's an advertisement? That's a hook.
We'll try a new
What does he
title
mean
on
by
this
that?
one. Whatever. We'll say Emilia Perez is terrible.
No, he knows. We know it's stupid. We know that.
Yeah.
It was just a whatever. I don't know, like a phrase we used or you used. You should have checked with me, but
I'll check with you on this next one.
all right.
In this last comment, I think I'll read all the... No, I won't read all the replies.
Long? All right, good.
Because I don't want to dogpile.
You know-
I'm not going to dogpile on you either. Because I want... If you have a differing opinion... I do.
Maybe
I want to
we
discuss
missed the
this.
brilliance or something, you know.
Yeah, and I didn't reply just because you kind of were getting dogpiled, but we're going to talk about it here. I'm not going to say you're an idiot. You're not an idiot.
Don't give a screen name then.
I thought the movie was pretty good. Best of the year, probably not. But amount of Oscar noms does not equal quality of film. Just means they excelled in a certain category of filmmaking. So I'll just start first point first. 13 nominations, a lot of them in different areas of film.
Yeah.
You're saying there's a proficiency in all of these areas that I just didn't see. You're saying editing's good. Let's look it up. What are all the...
That doesn't matter. We don't care. Listen, perhaps, but it got the major ones though. Best picture, right?
Exactly.
Okay, we don't care about cinematography. Nobody cares about that. Best sound editing. So if it got 13, it got, the lesser unknown ones and the major category nominations. So it shouldn't have. You can't make something good just by saying it's good.
Which is what they're attempting to do.
Yes, you just can't. It's like people should care about this. People care about what they care about.
So it won and didn't win anything yet, but it's nominated for Best Picture, which is overall proficiency,
Everybody
story,
Yeah.
everything,
Right,
which it
yeah.
lacked. Best Actress, which was Emilia Perez, and that is, I'm sorry, it you know what they're doing there. It's just
Yeah.
to make history with that, to show they're on the right side of history, which unfortunately that person came out to have online scandals. They talked about
Racial remarks.
towards there being too much black in Muslims in the United States.
Maybe. I know one was black.
Her opinion, whatever, and then against George Floyd. Again, her opinion. I don't know. I thought she was an awesome person, one of the best actresses of the year. And she can't have her own opinion. Okay. Best international feature film, best supporting actress. Maybe the best supporting actress, I think, is the only one you can really argue. Best international feature film. I would have to look. I don't even know if I've seen 5 international films yet. I will eventually, and once I do...
Is it really an international film?
Yeah, French director, foreign language, filmed in a foreign country.
Yeah, okay, all right. But I mean, this is an American release, in my opinion.
It's
hard.
It's foreign enough. I would...
Yeah, okay. It's not a foreign film.
Best
No.
director, that's bullshit. I'm sorry. The performances were not good. The script was a best adapted screenplay. You know that's fucking bullshit. One of the worst stories. I'm sorry. There's so much lacking. Fucking Abigail has a better story than this. You know it. Look yourself in the mirror and tell me I'm not right. Best original score. The music sucked. So what the fuck is that about? Best makeup and hairstyling. Okay.
Whatever,
I mean, if I was fucking whatever, I would care about that. Best cinematography. No. Just flat no. Best film editing. That's a hard one.
Yeah,
You
I
notice
wouldn't know
bad
good
editing. You don't
or-
notice
yeah,
good.
I
And then
wouldn't know.
best sound again. I mean, what does the bad sounds of the music not count? Because it fucking sucked.
You can hear it really well. It's just really bad.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe you captured all the sounds well. But
Let's move on. You want to move on, or you want to stick with this?
let me finish his comment. The video was just complaining about a movie receiving praise without actually discussing any single aspect of the film, just calling out the message, without clarifying what the message of the film is, and calling it sanctimonious with no evidence to back it up. Okay, so hopefully it was clear enough here, but they're just saying if someone transitions, you can become good, but it was a nasty person before. If we can't agree that drug lords are fucking
Yeah, I think we can.
parasites, then we just ideologically we're not on the same playing field. And they end up to be a shitty person after the fact. So I don't know what the messaging is we're just trying to push this constant agenda. We're trying to get more attention on that it supposedly makes you a better person. I don't know.
This is real life, all right? Newsweek wrote this article. There were these two men, and they saw where this couple lived, and it had nice stuff. So they went in. It was a botched robbery. So they beat the crap out of the husband, tied him up, put him in the basement, raped and killed his wife, and then set the house on fire. Somehow he did not die. I don't know how, but he didn't. He was a doctor, and she was a nurse. And 2 kids died. So they went to prison. So one of them has transitioned. So Newsweek, in their ultimate wisdom, wrote this story about, let's say his name's Joe, how Joe transitioned and is so much more at peace now, but still
That's what
has
this
bad
movie is.
memories of what happened. I'm like,
I'm so
high?
I feel so bad for that person. They have bad memories about killing a family.
Oh, yeah, you did it. It wasn't because you were in the wrong body. You probably did it to get to a different prison where you're not getting your ass kicked every other day. Because they do that. Mm-hmm. But when I read that, I'm like, Newsweek used to be like a reputable magazine. Are you insane? How did you write that? But, so it's similar, like art imitating.
Well, it's almost like maybe they read that and that's what they based the movie on. I don't
It
know.
was very recent, so probably not.
Yeah. Honestly, feels like the movie is just a lightning rod for people who want to hate things publicly. It's the current thing that everyone can make a YouTube video about, saying how bad it was without actually needing to elaborate on any of your points. You feel like
Look,
we've
you didn't have to
elaborated?
dissect it like film school. It's a bad movie. Look, you could search through a river of crap to try to find something nice and meaningful in it, but it's not worth it. It is a bad movie. It was a dumb idea. It was pandering. They screwed everything up. Whatever. We're not doing this because it's cool. It's a stupid movie. So thus we are talking about it.
And if this is the type of movie you want to watch, like,
knock yourself out.
yeah, watch it. But I'm just saying, when it gets nominations like this and praised by critics, people are going to try to emulate it. And people who are less fucking talented than this director. So,
Well, yeah. But look, yeah, if you hold it out as some exemplar of a good movie, people are going to criticize it. They're going to watch it and see, is it? Mm-hmm. Because if it's a piece of crap, they're going to, say, what are you doing? It's maybe more against the Academy.
yeah.
Where people are
Cannes,
protesting and
the Academy and the critics who said this is a good movie.
Look,
because
otherwise you wouldn't even know this thing existed.
if you were one of the trusted critics who rated this positively on Rotten Tomatoes, I'd be like, why the fuck would I listen to you again? And that's why we're saying, and because it's probably the safer thing to just be like, it was an okay movie. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Especially on fucking sites like YouTube or like any social media, because people are there's gonna be backlash for just speaking out about this fucking bullshit. I watched it last night expecting to watch a car crash, but it was just an out-of-the-box story about identity and redemption told in a camp musical style. Unless you're Mexican or transgender and you're genuinely offended by your representation, there's not much to complain about here. So at least you acknowledge the fact that...
then you're saying it's mediocre. What we're criticizing, and I think probably the majority, is that it's being held out as... I mean, it's good. Oscar nominations. 13 Oscar nominations. That's what people are complaining about. Hey, run-of-the-mill movie, there's other ones about transitions and so forth that didn't receive this enormous fanfare. Okay? That's fine. People may like that, and maybe your description of what it is right on target. That you just explained a very mediocre movie. Mm-hmm. Not one that is going to be nominated for 13 Oscars.
Yeah. And I don't think you have to be a part of a minority group who is directly touched by this movie. I'm offended by the opinion of critics, of judges towards audience members to think that I think they realize it's not actually a good movie, but they want to just praise it and award it.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I'm
think
not
that
offended.
we'll just go. I'm not offended.
Yeah.
I think it's offensive to pass this off as one of the top 5 works in all of the fucking categories we mentioned previously.
But the Oscars have become, I mean, literally.
Offensive is maybe the wrong word. Like it's like you pissed in my Cheerios is how I feel. You know? But
that's kind of offensive.
yeah. I mean, it would be like, someone farted in my general direction. That type. It's like I smell shit, and I don't like the smell of shit.
Yeah. I can attest to that.
Because you made me smell it growing up.
Well, hey, you had to grow up somehow. Well, yeah, I'm whatever you like. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really very few, well, some movies really do offend me. This, I just think it was a bad movie. That's all. I mean, it's offended a little bit in that respect. Otherwise, I don't care. I don't care. I mean, pedophilia I find offensive. Cannibalism, other unusual.
But I watch movies
things.
about that.
Well, you find it offensive though.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they
But I'm
glorified
not
it.
offended.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Good point. I don't. It takes all kinds to make a world, in my opinion. I say that a lot, in my opinion.
It takes a village. But, yeah, so essentially, just to paint it black and white.
Didn't
is
Idi
that
Amin
they
say
said,
that? It takes a village. Wasn't that him?
Hillary Rodham
No,
Clinton.
I'm kidding. Idi Amin was.
Is he an African dictator?
Yeah.
She had shots fired at her while visiting Idi Amin.
Yeah, we all know that was not true. And it wasn't in Africa.
And with that one comedian, what's his name? Shazam? Chad?
He was in a movie called Shazam. His name is
Slowbach.
Kevin Sorbo? Not Kevin Sorbo.
He goes by one name.
Yeah, I think you're right.
He's black and he's
I
bald.
know. He's tall. Yeah, and he was in. No, he wasn't in Shazam. Shazam was.
Shaq.
Yeah.
Shaq.
What's this guy's name?
They're saying the fact that this person had to live in the wrong body for so long is why they're a shit person. And then it goes against itself because they're a shit person after. Like they're like basically trying to control someone's life. Their wife, who they estranged for fucking 4 years, and then they think they get to call the shots on the wife's life after she was just like, who's
On her
also
own.
a shit person. She's a shit person, and the lawyer's taking literal blood money to get this shit done. And
yeah, that doesn't make her a really good person.
yeah, it's like, okay, and quite frankly, you
Although
could
once she
argue
was
if you're
given the opportunity, she didn't have a lot of choice. But
very true.
I'm going to tell you that you have to do it, or I'll kill you.
And she doesn't know if this is just a scheme for this drug lord who's probably has a fucking $1 million bounty on their head, is just doing this to like get away. And,
Right. Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
just change identity, quite
And
literally.
be gone.
It's so exactly.
Yeah.
That's the sticking point, and whatever it might not.
If I ever, and I don't think it's going to happen, become a drug lord, once I get to the top, I would have made enough money, I'd squirrel it all away, and come up with a super elaborate plan to like just
Get out.
disappear.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna go down.
Well, because you're
Someone's
gonna die.
kill you.
That's
you're
the
going
only
to
way
prison.
out.
Yeah.
They're not gonna just like, hey, let's peacefully hand over the power.
We're not. Hey, I'm a rival drug lord. What do you say? You get out of the business, I'll take over. It's, oh, sure.
Have you ever heard about the videos they? This is more akin to what we talked about on last episode. Most disturbing videos or movies that we ever watched, rather. They will film them brutally killing people as an example. Like, do not fuck with the
Sonola? Sonola, I think it is.
Sinola cartel.
Yeah.
Like, there's
Yeah.
one, they take a chainsaw to this guy's face, which kills you. I'm sure you knew that. Or they'll dismember people while they're alive.
Yeah, I know. They're
They'll hang you from bridges. I mean, it's fucking... They'll take your heart out of your chest and stab it into your body while it's still beating. These guys are
ruthless.
fucking just... They're barely human.
Yeah, I agree. I wonder.
And they act like for these narco guys that come and help them find the body, like this is a redemption for them. It's like, fucking dude, that's so half-assed. For you to do something so genuinely horrific, like those are the horrors of the world that we live in.
Yeah.
You have to beg for fucking forgiveness. It shouldn't be like, I'll anonymously tell you where your son Eddie is.
Yeah.
Like, you should have to fucking donate your life's earnings to that family that now is living without a father, someone who's not living without a brother,
Yeah.
someone whose son got taken from them.
There's not a lot of sympathy in the drug trade. None.
Yeah. And and we should all look like, I can watch a movie and not have that strong of feelings, but it's when you're trying to look at them through this lens, it's so misguided. And I don't know. That's I'll leave it at that. Any closing remarks for that movie?
No, I mean it just wasn't good. It wasn't
Yeah.
good. I mean the plot was kind of odd. It's an odd plot. I mean I kind of see what they were trying to do. I don't think they did it successfully.
I don't know. It maybe could have worked. I look at these really weird plots, and sometimes you need weird. You need
yeah,
weird.
you do. And I'll give it credit for that. It was creative and unique.
It just wasn't executed very well.
Probably not. But I mean, I can almost see, what they're going for. Someone, in the wrong body, and that could be symbolic. Someone not necessarily in the wrong body, just for some reason has grown up in a certain mindset because of where they grew up and how things are, and made an enormous change. And in this case, maybe it was symbolic. Really, it wasn't technically about someone transitioning from male to female, someone transitioning from one type of
Archetype.
person to a completely different type of person. So it probably wasn't, but it could have been. And then in that case, that person's looking for redemption who's done very atrocious things. I don't know.
And then maybe that they act out towards the end. It's like it's not as easy to separate yourself from that.
You can't. You can't.
So we'll give
outrun
it
the
credit
past.
there.
Yeah. So give me some other stupid ones.
I really was offended. Not offended. But I did hate the Forever Purge. By Everardo Gout, which is a good name for a director.
Yeah.
It uses CGI blood. I fucking hate that.
Yeah, that's not good.
That is like, man, that pisses me off so bad. It felt very, very cheap in that. The political commentary was really hammy, over the top.
What was it? I know, and I remember the first one.
It was in Mexico, so all the Purge movies are about class
Yeah.
warfare. So like the people who own a ranch are bad because they have wealth, and the people who are less wealthy are
Good.
they're good
'Cause they're
because
poor.
they're yeah, exactly.
Even the first, I didn't see that one. You saw the first Purge, obviously.
I haven't. I've
Oh,
seen
really?
Purges. I've seen a couple of the sequels, and they're not great, but this one is
I
extremely
mean,
bad.
they make every white person racist, you know. It's
Which
like-
is true, but damn it, they
you don't want to
try.
see it in the movies. Come on, we know that. What are you telling us for? It was just. I mean, it's ham. Well, you were trying to say hammy. I think you meant ham-fisted, where it's like beat you over the head with. The point, you know,
Yeah.
and that's what, because the black man was the hero. You know, rose above the
Speak up.
you know, the purge and the idea behind it and so forth, and which is fine. That's all right, but you don't have to make every white person seem like, you know, they're just a despicable human being.
Yeah, white people. There are some.
I've met him. I've
some-
met this one really cool white guy, and I think he's a good person.
Michael Jordan?
Yeah, no, he's his brother.
Not that one though.
No, the other one.
Not the one you're thinking of. Yeah, I don't have a ton to say about that. It was, I mean, with some bad movies, they're very forgettable. Kind of
Yeah.
the case with that. Purge has a hook. Obviously, that's why they can make so many sequels. This one was like, dude, you're giving me no reason to keep this movie on.
Yeah.
It's just not good. Admittedly, I'm a gore hound. I mean, we just did a movie where we're talking about some pretty fucked up movies.
Yeah.
So if you can get that right, that's all it takes. I will watch your
It
movie.
barely needs a plot. There was no plot, but man, was there killing! Oh my god, it was so cool.
And CGI, man, it's just not going to get it done. If you're a horror movie, for the love of God, if there's blood in your film,
Use
Please.
real blood.
use PIBs. PIBs are awesome.
Yeah.
You know what those are?
No.
You know when someone gets shot.
Yeah,
and then
exploding. Yeah.
That's what a PIB is.
Yeah.
I love those.
Yeah.
Some movies are better in my mind just for using them.
Oh yeah, because it comes flying out.
Django Unchained, one of my favorite westerns, for a lot of reasons. The story's really good, but the PIBs, so the action is so awesome.
Yeah.
I want blood soaked. CGI, it looks so cheap.
Well, when you do that, it's distracting. Nobody likes that.
Yeah. I know I'm like I sound like the most pretentious person in the world right now, but
Okay. One I want to move. I don't think it's on here. I didn't write it down, but it's on my top of my.
you remember it though?
Yeah. Well, they remade this movie. I don't know why. This at one time, it's Roadhouse.
Did you watch the remake?
No.
Oh, the original is not good.
Oh my God, no! It's
People like that though. I've never seen
I think they like it because it's so.
campy.
Oh yeah, exactly. They like it because it's bad.
Oh.
It's so stupid. It's just a ridiculous.
They like the main
stupid-
guy.
Yeah, Patrick Swayze. And but everybody's got bad movies. This is like so bad it's good type. Just ridiculous plot. It's a roadhouse where they drink beer and stuff. They have a security staff. It seems like they have 10 people because apparently they just
Have fights every night?
have fights all the time. And some guy wants to take over some rich. I think it's Cassavetes. No, it's not. Someone like him though.
Casavani?
No.
Oh,
know
fuck
that.
it. Who cares who it is?
No, don't tell me that. I'm not.
Well, I haven't seen this movie. I can't talk about it much. So
We're going to talk about it more though.
We
than
will,
understand
but
it.
I have to pivot because there's a movie. It's not one of the worst movies. I actually enjoyed it.
But you were just not talking about my movie. Go ahead. I'm kidding. Go ahead. But you just.
Well, I haven't seen Roadhouse. What am I supposed to say?
I can talk.
Oh,
There's
go ahead.
two. No.
Well, you look at something
Anyone
up.
who has seen it. Have you seen the update?
No.
Oh, well, that's got what's his face in it. I wonder if that's any good.
Conor McGregor and Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Well, you know Conor McGregor's in it, right?
I did.
And
know that.
he apparently, I don't know this for a fact, but he likes cocaine.
Nuh-uh.
I think he really likes it. Actually, he's a fucking nut, man. I don't know. But you
That was
can't
Ben
help.
Gazzara. I'm sorry, that's who I thought.
Oh, he is a frequent John Cassavetes actor, though. He's in a lot of Cassavetes films.
Is he? Okay.
So I understand how you got why you thought Cassavetes when.
Yeah, and they had the sways in it.
That's
P.
what
Sways.
they call him, the Sways,
Yeah.
because he's that damn cool.
I guess he died. Did you know that?
Yeah, what did he have?
I don't know. He died like 20 years ago, though, I think.
A movie like that, and I'm not saying it's bad, I'm not including it on the list, but you've seen it. It's Bloodsport.
Oh, yeah.
Fun, but
Yeah.
is that movie well made?
No.
Not really.
That's probably the best well-made movie that Van Damme was ever in, though.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Then,
There's this movie he is in. And there was one where he was a French Foreign Legion.
Okay.
I remember that one. And there was another one.
Hard
Some kind
Target?
of prison. No. And then he was in this one. He's in a prison in like a third world country, and they're underground, but it's dirt floor and dirt walls and stuff like that. But
they don't like third world countries, by the way. They like to be called Little Africas.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that. Anywho, so he's fighting in it.
And if anyone calls that racist, South Africa
You
has
cut me
a lot
off.
of white people. More white people than black.
Well, not for long, but
That, I think, is racist, what you just said.
no. There's open season on white people in South Africa.
We can't talk about factual information.
Well,
When it comes to
I
that.
made it up. Does that count? Anywho, oh yeah, he's in this prison. This guy throws something in Van Damme's face. All right, there's a midget in the movie, and he keeps saying, "Concentrate, concentrate." So he's trying to fight blind, and this little midget keeps saying,
They like
it.
to be called little dinklages, not midgets.
Little dinks, the dinks, or the dinks. He keeps saying that. It's freaking stupid, but his movies are horrible. I mean, they're always low budget.
Yeah.
I mean, all they're about is like, okay, you're going to say a couple lines, okay,
Jesse VD.
VD, and then you're just going to fight.
That's
it.
Well,
That's
the
the
thing
plot.
is, the Dutch accent is... there's a charm to it. It sounds
Yeah.
really bad in the film.
Yeah, it does. It does.
There's flashbacks in Bloodsport where there's a little Dutch boy. He sounds like such a fucking idiot. And I love it so much. But that was a movie that, I mean, if there was ever a movie geared towards me, Bloodsport is that film. It's a fucking essentially no holds barred fight to the death tournament. It's like if Mortal Kombat was real.
Yeah.
And I should love that.
on a real guy, Frank Dux.
That and
You're gonna say
that
that's
is
right?
he is a bullshitto.
Frank Dux.
Yeah.
Oh,
no
really?
fucking way. Because they say his stat sheet or whatever the fuck after the movie. There's no goddamn way. He's winning a fight like every 5 days and never losing.
I gotta look it up.
Unless he's fighting literal
Tomato cans.
schmuck, like not even,
Yeah.
like people who are disfigured.
Just randos from the street.
Yeah, like mostly because even against a random dude, you're not gonna, you'll get fucked up a decent bit unless you are legit, and he's not. In my opinion, I think JCVD beats Frank Dukes in a real fight in their primes, for sure. Everyone online says he's fucking a bullshit artist.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe because his style is ninjutsu. That's not a real fucking style. So I have the moves of a ninja. No, you don't. You just dress like, I was gonna say a word. I'm not gonna say it, but we all know what I was thinking. Shall I go
No.
next?
Oh, yeah. I thought you were going to, should I say the word?
Oh, no.
Go ahead.
So this director actually made a fairly acclaimed film. It's called The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. That's a 4.0 on Letterboxd. I want to watch that film.
I have heard it's good.
He unfortunately made another film in 2022. I'm talking about Andrew Dominic. This rating is 2.1. I went a little lower than that. I gave it a 1.5. Quite honestly, it deserves to be lower. I'm talking Blonde, which also got an Oscar nomination for Ana de Armas as Marilyn Monroe.
Oh. I was trying to think. I know.
Huge build up to finally reveal what it was about. Now, I'm going to tell you my perspective on why I think Armas was given the nomination, and thank God she wasn't awarded it, because who the fuck thought she actually did a good performance? She has a Chilean accent.
Oh, you told me
playing
about this.
Marilyn Monroe. You couldn't find anyone else?
Yeah.
I honestly think it's because there's like look at it through a different lens. There's a slight humiliation that the actress has to be naked in scenes. Mm-hmm. And it's like this humiliation ritual was enough for her to get the applause of the crowd. Because that's what happened to Marilyn Monroe. She was...
Yeah.
she was humiliated on public... I don't fucking know. Whatever. It's like they,
barely know how to spell her name.
They think that Marilyn Monroe, that the producers only liked her because of her beauty. That's humiliating. We don't pick actors because of their looks.
Really? Yeah, because Tom Cruise is hideous, and Brad Pitt is, and Jake Gyllenhaal are all ugly.
Exactly. You said it best. You said I couldn't have said it better myself. And, I think there's a genuinely good story to be told about Marilyn Monroe. I really do, because I've seen she was a good actress. It wasn't purely because she
looks.
Yeah.
And her figure.
She had a look for that era that was very against type. When you think about, I'm not comparing the two because I think the guy, Marlon Brando, there is not really a comparison for him. He was naturalistic. And I think what you could consider Marilyn Monroe is the figures of the time before the starlets. It was vastly different to what she brought to the table. She was a full-figured woman. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And the other people were kind of like models, yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That ebbs and flows, though. It goes from that, like in fashion models or whatever, go from full-figured to thin and back and forth and. So maybe she was the first to kind of break out as like a more full-figured gal.
Because she had a look that differed. Something set her apart.
Right.
Which in Hollywood is, I don't know, I've heard it's kind of a big deal to be able to do that. If you blend into the crowd, that's...
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you have to have some way of...
Especially if
being
you're going to be a
noticed.
leading woman,
Yeah.
you know. And she wasn't like the lead in a lot of films, but she was like the main female character in a lot of movies.
So
by
that
like,
would be female
leading
lead.
woman. Yeah. What else did I not like about this? Yeah, I thought the messaging about the kind of pro-choice messaging was really ham-fisted, as you really wanted me to say. Strangely done too. That didn't put me off too much. It was weird, and I think took a lot of people out of.
Well, I mean, is that part of her story? I mean,
They figured it was that
it's a biopic.
because of her.
Okay, which maybe she had an
Career,
abortion. I
she
think she did, or
couldn't.
whatever, or she couldn't, or what, I don't know. But it's not like a political. Stop it with the political stuff. Either way, I would think I would dislike. Dislike either way doing it. I do. I'm not. If I want to know about that, I'll go to a source that talks about that. I'm not going to go see a movie to talk about abortion rights. Okay. Mm-hmm. I mean, look, if you want to explain them to me, I mean, I'm kind of in the middle on that anyway. So either way is whatever. But don't show me a movie to try to make the point. You just give me a PowerPoint, or not even just an outline.
Email him.
Yeah, do your pros and
need to
cons or
knows.
whatever. But I don't have to watch a 2-hour movie for you to.
Yeah, there was inaccuracies too. From what I looked up online, I can't remember what they were, but I remember there was like some tragic things that they brought up in the film. I was like, did this really happen to Marilyn Monroe? And apparently they did not. Or maybe I looked up one of those list websites and was like, okay, here are the major inaccuracies about this movie. And I was like, what the fuck? Why did you add that? And I think part of it was they wanted this film to be really bleak and like very sad. So it never has the highs that as Marilyn Monroe you would have.
It was up and down. So why not?
Yeah,
do the
it's the well, and that's why that's how movies are structured. A rise and a fall.
Yeah.
You know, they don't just hey,
Fully depressed.
we're at normal. We're just gonna keep going down, 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 down. And films can do that. Irreversible, which is a movie we talked about last episode. Check out that video here. There's no link for you to click on. You got to go on the channel and click it. But it goes down.
Irreversible. .749. That's the best way to view it. .net.
Dadman
.edu.
and T-Man.
Don't misspell any of those. And
Yeah, if you mess up a letter, then you're kind
it'll
of...
just kick you out. It'll just crash your computer.
Yeah, there's virus sites that are on either
they're
side.
super similar to that.
You can do it, I guess. So maybe I'm being I'm lying.
Can do what?
If the structure is just let's go bleak the whole time, but that's like a horror movie, or you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could have done it. It sounds like they didn't do it well, though.
For sure. I think there's a lot of things they could have done a lot better in the movie.
And she's an icon. I mean, she's an icon.
Even
Never
I
heard a song
respect
about
her.
her.
Even I respect her,
Yeah.
and like, that's not my time period.
No.
You know, she passed away decades before I was ever born. But as someone who likes film, I can respect her talent.
Yeah, to you, she was just a candle in the wind.
I've never heard that song.
No? Yeah, me either. Okay, enough about that. That was boring. Sorry. The Room. We don't have to talk about The Room. Let's Battlefield Earth.
Ooh, Scientologists are not going to like that. You put that on.
Well, they didn't like the movie either.
They should, though.
It was like in a blue. A lot of it was in like this weird filter, like a blue filter.
A lot of great movies have
This
blue
wasn't
filters.
one of them.
I can name 10.
Not all of it was, just parts of it. You know, I told you this before. I thought L. Ron Hubbard was just a writer. I didn't know he was the head of Scientology. And I'd read a couple of his books, and because I read science fiction back in the day. I had no idea, and I may have even read that, but I'm not sure. I think I did. I don't know if I did. But
What's it called again?
Battlefield Earth.
Oh no! Oh, okay. When you said I might have read that, I thought it was the Scientology book.
Oh, Dianetics.
Dianetics, yeah.
That's actually pre-Scientology.
When you're reading
I read
that,
about that.
That's not science fiction. Do people know?
Not Dianetics? No.
Okay.
It's a
Self-help?
way. Yes.
Okay.
But it isn't Scientology. It's prior to Scientology. He came out with Dianetics. And I guess they had they'd set up all these, like, centers for people to learn and do Dianetics. And then later Scientology came along, I believe, because I read about
Well, you had the infrastructure.
Well, no, because he had no control over those centers.
Oh, they were independently doing that.
Yes. At least.
Well, let's discuss the pros and cons of Scientology.
Okay.
All you Scientologists.
You know that you're not allowed to. It's disallowed in Germany because it's considered
Really?
a cult. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I know that was surprising. I don't. Whatever.
If you're a Scientologist, I don't care.
Oh yeah. You're probably smarter than me anyway, but
Yeah, I just
Not because
think
of that,
that they
necessarily.
do try to prey on people.
yeah.
But you might look at the fucking Catholic Church and say, look at what they're doing, and I would say touche.
Right.
And if it benefits your life, then I think that's awesome too.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I mean, they're very into, like, I would say, personal responsibility. You know, it's like,
Well,
if you're a victim, it's
definitely-
your fault. You know.
Yeah, that's why they do auditing, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah, that's to get clear. I know that. Clear is like the first stage of, because some of the
But
stuff.
that's to establish blackmail on you.
Well, yeah.
I mean, in
Yeah,
real
yeah,
life
yeah.
terms.
Right, you're right. Because then they have all this dirt on you.
It's like, okay, you
And
want
at
to
some point,
quit?
I'd be like a guy's like, I don't. So what? I slept with somebody, a guy. So I don't. Go ahead, blackmail me. if you
Well, for
want.
some people, you can just. say
Yeah,
that,
well,
but-
you can't be an act. Back in the day, you couldn't be an actor and be gay. So yeah, they had blackmail on you. Yeah.
But everyone has to do that.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
And everyone's blackmail might be different.
Well, I'm sure it is.
You might have done something horrific, and it's like, I can't ever leave.
Well, yeah, but most people haven't. You know, most people
Everyone
aren't murderers
I
who want to
think
be a
some people.
Scientologist.
I think some people have things in their past. I mean, maybe you're a married man and you cheated on your wife.
Okay, yeah, all right, I got that. Yeah, that
You
makes
know?
sense. Yeah, but other than that, like, most people haven't killed anybody
Yet.
or commit. Well, they're only talking about your past. They can't predict your future.
That's the second stage.
Shut up! You don't
Future
know anything
crimes.
about it, you idiot.
I know.
Making fun of it.
LRH is. I have a poster
L.
of him.
Ron Hubbard. Oh, you said LRH.
LRH.
Okay.
You had to think about it, and that
I
is.
did.
Is it embarrassing? No.
Nope.
But kind of.
To you.
So he was a ginger,
Yeah, that's what it's all about, being a ginger.
and I think he understood the struggle of what a minority goes through every day.
Gingerism.
And
the
if
gingerists.
if that's not close to godliness, a la Christ,
You should write a
I don't know
book.
what is.
Yeah.
And let me say,
He was very super dynamic, is this thing.
while we're talking about religion, I watched The Passion of the Christ
Yeah.
and The Gospel According to Matthew. Pretty good.
You would like a pat on the back for that
I
or
feel more spiritual after watching those movies. And you want to know you'll be like, oh, this is bullshit, whatever. For some reason, the one part of scripture that stuck out the most to me was from the Gospel of Matthew. And there was a very wealthy person who said, I've been doing all of your teachings, like, I followed your commandments. What can I do?
to get into heaven.
Yeah, and he said, give all of your possessions away to the poor, and then come follow me. And he said,
No thanks.
and the guy kind of walked away. He said, a rich man walking through the gates of heaven is as likely as a camel.
Through the eye of a needle.
Exactly. Say it a little louder so they hear it.
Through the eye of a needle.
No, camel through an eye of a needle.
The camel through an eye of a needle.
I don't, for some reason, and like, am I gonna go and give away, like, my little amount of possessions away? No. But
other people should, though.
I
Especially
honestly,
to me.
I think there's
Something to be said for that?
yeah,
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people do it, but
because and he also says you can't serve two masters.
yes. Yes. We're not going to talk about religion, are we? It kind of seems like we're going that way.
We don't have to. I just wanted to mention that.
No, that was profound.
Food for thought.
I think, yeah, I'm familiar with. I went to Catholic school. I don't mean to brag, but it was a pretty big deal.
You did the what's it
elementary
called?
School.
You have to do before communion. Cataclysm. Catechisms.
Yes, I did catechism.
Cataclysm.
I was not involved in a cataclysm.
I'm gonna mention one here. You're gonna love to hear it. Are you ready for it?
I'm ready.
The Exorcist Believer, 2023. David Gordon Green, the destroyer of dreams. No offense to David Gordon Green. Look, I want to say this right off the bat.
There's not a script he can't destroy.
I really do. No bullshit. I like Pineapple Express.
Oh my god.
Dude, come on, dude.
Let's get high.
I was in
Express.
junior high, and I liked that movie.
It's okay. It's not bad. It's a pretty decent comedy.
Halloween 2018 was also pretty decent. Okay? I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. And the majority of people who watched it, the average rating 3.2. Then Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends. He starts to spiral out of control a little bit, and the punctuation is The Exorcist Believer. You haven't seen that yet. I wouldn't recommend it. It really is one of the worst of...
They messed it up.
Yeah.
Why is the IP so... I mean, look.
Cursed?
No.
Maybe it's a cursed series.
Yeah. Like Poltergeist.
Exactly.
They said that was cursed. Because the little girl who played the little girl got sick or something after it.
Like leukemia? Sick? I think.
Well, it wasn't leukemia, but...
Non-Hodgkin's lymphoma?
Do you even know what diseases are? Did she have rickets?
That's serious.
Actually, rickets is... Oh, not rickets. I'm thinking... What's that one? Scurvy.
Oh, I was going to say sickle cell. The Exorcist is, quite frankly, in both of our opinions, the best horror movie of all time.
Yes.
I like The Exorcist 3. You don't. Let me say this.
Oh, there she is.
You ready?
Yeah.
If you watch The Exorcist Believer and The Exorcist 3 in the same day, you will think The Exorcist 3 is a fucking masterpiece. Okay?
And Believer? So you're...
In the same day.
Oh, come on. Yeah.
If you watch 3
It
and
just
then
isn't-
Believer, you'll be... Or
They're just
Believer.
stupid plot holes, man.
Dude, but there's some... Can I just say this? You're
Some
like...
imagery is
No.
Yeah. Good.
You kind of are picky and choosy with movies you decide to see plot holes in.
No.
Because there's
'Cause
a
it
movie that you
crushes-
said... There was a movie that you said was like good or whatever that you liked, and I watched it and there was plot holes, and I'm like, I can't believe you didn't fucking tear the movie apart because
If you
of
can
it.
think of it, maybe
I wish I could.
Giardiasis is what she got. She got a contractor from Well Water. I shouldn't laugh. Okay,
Did she die?
Then she got Crohn's disease. Yeah, she died. She was filming Poltergeist 3. The injections resulted in facial swelling of the cheeks, which her works mom said was very self-conscious about. I don't know. It's a long story. She died young.
You laughed about it.
She drank well water. I
Yeah.
drank well water one time because I was coaching soccer. I forgot my water. Some kid had water. I said, "Can I have some of your water?" They said, "Okay." It's well water, and I drank it, and it tastes like motor oil. It was terrible.
Some well water is supposed to actually not be bad.
Well, probably, but this, I swear to God, I'm like, did you put chemicals in this? Or it was
Maybe
so
they
bad.
do.
Well, I mean, to make it worse.
Yeah, maybe they're trying to clean it. Maybe it's like infected the
Clean
water.
something. Like your kidneys or with your bowels.
But
It was so bad.
what are you told me the plot holes of Exorcist 3? I just like
There's a guy
uh-huh.
so he's in a prison. Okay? Apparently
No, he's in like the he's
Mental
like
asylum?
padded cell. Yeah.
it's not.
What's in the hospital?
Yeah, but it looks like it's from the 1400s. It looks like he's in a like a
Torture chamber.
yes. And how long had he been in a coma?
So, well, since the events of the
Okay,
Exorcist.
I think it was like 14 years.
17.
So, 17 years. And I can't remember what it was. It's like, didn't even know who he was.
Yeah.
Eventually this guy will die. They're not going to leave someone in a coma in a...
Oh, that's very pessimistic of you.
It's also true. I mean, it's a hospital. It's like no one's paying for this room, even if it is a dungeon.
Can you do that?
They could conveniently find him, dead on the floor, I think.
Wow.
But anyway, so he's in it for 17 years. Remarkably, he's hooked up to something that measures your vital signs. Because after 17 years, I'm sure they'd have him hooked up to one of these. And he shows brain activity or whatever. He's an insane asylum. He's not strapped down. He's attached to this thing that he could pick up and throw against a wall or kill somebody with. It's just wrong. It's all wrong.
I'm not.
How many people
I'm not-
died in that movie? 2?
Maybe.
The guy with the big scissors. No, it's more than 2. Okay, but it's not that many. He's supposed to be so evil.
Multiple. More than that.
Okay, multiple means more than one. Okay.
So there was a black kid from the local.
I know,
thing.
and they put him on oars like a crucifix.
Yeah, and then there's.
Okay, how many? Like, what? Give me a ballpark. I don't need exact numbers.
Well, it's at least 3. I can't remember.
So
if
this
there's
is the
more.
Prince of Evil. This is
Just during the events of the movie, the Gemini killer killed more.
yeah, but he wasn't.
The Gemini is one of the spirits who is in him.
Whatever. It was stupid. He was so easily
Exorcist
defeated.
3 Legion fans, where you at? I need you right now.
Yeah, turn out. Tell me how.
We'll read them on the episode because
Yeah.
Dadman needs to be put
But
in his
he's
place.
in a dungeon. In a modern hospital. Also, there's a scene where, I don't know if you remember, there was someone crawling on the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember? Okay, well then there's a door right next to the day room where all the crazy people hang out. And there's blood coming under the door. Never addressed. Never comes up. They must have cut a scene or something. Like, what, they didn't notice that eventually? And think something's going on?
I'm assuming that's taken care of off scene or off screen rather,
Well, then why did you show it?
so you know
What? We don't know anything.
you know that evil's lurking.
The only thing is the scene with the... I wonder, did they use those? Are those huge scissors? It looks like you cut a car in half with it. Like the Jaws of Life. They're actually bigger than the Jaws of Life. They're huge.
That's what I was gonna say. They do look like the Jaws of Life,
Yeah.
but besides that,
I
I
don't
don't
think
know.
they make things that big.
I think they're used to cut hair on sculptures.
What?
But sculptures like
Oh, okay,
marble
okay.
sculptures.
Yeah, okay. Oh, that was a joke. I'm sorry. Yeah.
So
Get it?
Exorcist Believer, there's no
Rating?
horror. It's not scary ever. There's
Yeah.
there's like one flash on screen where I'm like, oh, that's cool imagery. That's it. And some of the makeup is good, but
Well, it's not like they didn't have a template to use. I mean, so there's nothing original. They just used the same type of makeup from the original.
They kind of it almost looks more like death metal makeup.
Yeah, okay, I know what you mean.
And it doesn't do a great job building anything up, and the ending is still like a letdown.
Whoa.
The ending's really bad, and it there's one scene the dad's like, this is after the daughter's possessed. He's trying to find her in the house, and you're like, all right, they're building suspense, and there's no payoff. There's one jump scare where you're looking at like a glass screen, like in a hospital, you know. Well, every room is like encased in like these plexiglass, and the girl just like smacks it, and then she's right there. That was like the one scare. Then you see the imagery, that's decent, but yeah, like it's just very boring. Outside of that, Ellen Burstyn's in it, and her scenes are just not worthy of bringing her back. I said in my review, thank God I didn't take my dad to see this. He's a super mega fan of the OG Exorcist, as he would have rightfully disowned me.
Yep. Did you write that?
I did.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, I was curious. Now, if you had recommended it,
I do not.
yeah.
Just to make that clear, guys, I don't recommend this. Even to people I
Well,
dislike.
Exorcist 2 was bad.
Yeah, Exorcist 2, but I would
3,
rather
okay,
watch 2.
Exorcist 3 is pretty good. Exorcist 2 is really bad.
I'd rather watch Heretic than Believer.
Okay, well, that's... Okay.
But they're pretty close.
And I'm okay with you on 3. 3's not bad. I don't think it's OG, worthy.
No, and I'm not...
Well, I
so
mean, it's...
there's
like
5-star
it's like-
Exorcist, and then there's 3.5-star Exorcist Legion.
there was some stuff, I guess. I just, my expectations... If you say it's a good Exorcist movie, the Exorcist movie, I'm expecting an awful lot.
It's the second best in the series, and I know you like Dominion.
No, Dominion.
Dominion is not...
I don't... No.
Or it's... Maybe the beginning is the one you like. I can never remember which one. Because one of them has a weird bald guy. Is like... the one who's really possessed. And the other one, it's the nurse.
Oh, you mean the two different versions of that same one? No.
The one with the weird bald guy is not the good one. I think it's Paul Schrader's
Version. I mean, it was very... They're very, very close to the same movie. Very
they
close.
have basically the same...
Well, the scenes are the same. The same actors are in it.
Yeah.
And
Except for the bald guy. Okay, it's... Paul Schrader's is the one with the bald guy. I don't think I like that one as much.
Well, one is not as good as the other, but they're very, very similar.
Agreed. So hit me with one of yours.
Well, this is a whole, franchise movement at a time that
You
they
hate
don't do
the
anymore.
Terminator. You hate the Terminator series, huh?
Yeah, that's what it is. Well, this one's stupid. I'm just going to mention it briefly. Howard the Duck. I don't know if you ever saw that. What a weird, stupid movie that was. But that whole, you remember the Epic movie, the one that was called Epic Movie? And then there was parodies of Scream. Now, I know the Wayans did a couple of the original ones. Mm-hmm. And then it spawned a cottage industry almost.
Yeah.
And then it just got really...
Those are... You kind of know going into those, though, that they're not going to be...
Well, but then it's... But there are other ones that weren't related to the Wayans. There was one called Epic Movie.
Right.
The Epic Movie. Another one's called Movie 43 or something like that. And they're parodies, but they're just so bad.
I agree. Just to be fair, when you... it's hard to describe it. You kind of... even before, that they're this is just literally a popcorn movie.
Well, they're not even. I mean, they're bad parodies. I mean, just because you're a parody doesn't mean you're funny.
Yeah, some of them are
Just super
especially bad.
Yeah, Epic Movie's one of them. But then,
And that's your favorite parody movie? I'm sorry, what did you say?
yes, no. I mean, no. The opposite of it. I saw a movie called The Postman. It's got the guy from Yellowstone, Costner.
Kevin Costner.
Yeah, wow. I mean, there was just a part of it. I think I saw the whole movie, and I was expecting a lot, and I'm like, this is bad. But there was one scene. The dialogue was so bizarre and weird. I wish I could remember it. And I'm like, oh my god, this is. I cringed. It was so bad. I'm like, what are they doing? They would have been better just not having any sound, as opposed to this dialogue. It was just so strange. But that's not a good movie either.
Someone on one of our videos wanted to dispute you on your dislike of the movie Miami Vice. They told you to shush and that is a good movie.
Well, actually it may be. There's parts of it are just like nothing's happening. There's no dialogue. It's like I told you, they took that boat trip to Miami from Florida, or Miami,
Cuba.
to Cuba. And it's like here's the thing. Miami Vice was fun and active and frenetic. And then they made this, the movie. I'm like, we're expecting something like that. Mm-hmm. A lot of action. There was decent plots in Miami Vice, the TV show. But then this was different, completely different. And he was involved.
Michael Mann?
Yeah, he was involved.
He was the director.
Well,
and used the showrunner or whatever for the show.
No, he was a director for the series, and he was executive producer for the movie.
Vice versa.
No.
He directed the movie. He was executive producer of the show. He directed the movie.
Okay, I think you're wrong, but
You can look it up.
I think I actually looked this up.
Well, look up that he directed
regardless,
it?
I mean, his involvement there should have been.
No, I agree.
Miami Vice was really a popular TV show.
Miami
People
Vice
loved it.
2006, directed by. Say it.
Frank Brunell.
Mann. Michael Mann.
Well, then how did he screw it up so bad?
I don't know. I didn't watch it yet. Maybe it is good.
But, okay, it may be, like I said, but it's different. So different than the TV series. I'm not saying it's just got to be an extended version of the TV show.
3.4 on Letterboxd. That's a decent rating.
It was stupid. It had Colin Farrell.
Who's not a bad actor.
No, he's not. But I still don't know. I mean, it involved drugs, I guess. I don't know. I think I gave up on it.
So one I'm going to put out there, not to go supersonic speed on these movies, but...
Yeah, we're running in OT.
Velvet Buzzsaw, 2019. This was around the time that I was like, Jake Gyllenhaal's a good actor. Mm-hmm. Didn't really realize that he could be in a bad movie. And he's been in, he does everything. There was a time where just going into banger after banger after banger.
Yeah.
And now he's in some stuff that's not as good. But
he was
still
in
a
that
good
one
actor.
Egyptian movie.
Prince of Persia. Yeah. But he was in the new Roadhouse, and people were like, yeah, that was okay. He was in The Covenant, which, yeah, that's okay. Prince of Persia obviously sucks. But, it's not like, hey, every single film he's in is just amazing.
Well, it can't be. Not as many films as he makes.
Well, that is definitely true. I will say one thing about Willem Dafoe. Motherfucker's in a lot of movies, and a lot of them are good. He was in 4 movies this year, and all of them, I think, are going to be Oscar nominated. I could be wrong, but he's dude was in. Let me just fucking look at that. So Willem Dafoe, He was in Nosferatu. He was in Saturday Night. He was in Beetlejuice, and Kinds of Kindness. And the lowest rated film is Kinds of Kindness. That's a film that I would have taken too, though, because it's a Yorgos Lanthimos film. Yorgos is the guy who made a lot of good films. This is unfortunately his lowest rated film currently, I think. But he made The Lobster, The Killing of a Sacred Deer, Dogtooth, Poor Things, and Kinds of Kindness. I haven't seen that film yet. I want to watch it. It's longer, so I haven't seen it yet. I don't even... Oh, I do remember him in Beetlejuice. That one, not so good. Saturday Night, I haven't seen yet, but 7-0. And then Nosferatu was really good. And, I mean, he's not in a lot of bad movies. So, if there's someone who...
No, he's a very good actor, I think.
That much is very true. Who would I give the tip of the cap to between Gyllenhaal and Dafoe? That's a toughie.
I would go Dafoe, but Gyllenhaal... Gyllenhaal, I remember him in Donnie Darko, and he was pretty good in that. He was young. That was before I think he was very well known.
And he was in that movie with his sister.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. I will say, for my sensibilities, I like more passion, emotive type of acting, so I would lean Gyllenhaal. And I know that might be sacrilege. I love Dafoe. He's a more, I would say, gregarious.
Gyllenhaal?
No, Dafoe. Just odd, unique, specific, and understated in a lot, but sometimes he's wacky, which is good. He definitely has roles that have that exuberance that you get from Gyllenhaal, but Gyllenhaal can, redline, unlike Dafoe can. Maybe Dafoe's is more realistic. If you feel that way, I completely see it. I enjoy Gyllenhaal. But this movie, Velvet Buzzsaw, which I brought up and haven't really talked about yet, doesn't utilize Gyllenhaal very well at all. I think he took it because it was such a weird and different role from what he normally plays, but it didn't play to his strengths at all. And I just didn't find the plot to be very entertaining at all.
What's it about?
So here's the summation. Big money artists and mega collectors pay a high price when art collides with commerce. After a series of paintings by an unknown artist are discovered, a supernatural force enacts revenge on those who have allowed their greed to get in the way of art. So all these art collectors are dying. It's supposed to kind of be horror, thriller, mystery.
Somebody else is in that. Oh, I know. He almost looks like Truman Capote or something. Doesn't he have weird glasses and stuff?
Yeah, he wears femme fatale glasses, which is not a thing, but it does sound good when I say it, doesn't it?
Femme fatale?
Yeah.
Well, that is a thing.
But they don't make glasses.
Oh, femme fatale glasses.
His glasses actually kind of look like the ones you're wearing right now.
Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, so I thought it was going to be much more of a horror film. I didn't find it to be very good. And one of the reasons I was mega pissed was because I was actually excited for it. I was actually like, oh man, this comes out on Netflix this weekend. Watch it the night it came out. And I was like, I don't get it. I thought I didn't get it, but apparently no one did. So I don't feel as bad about that. But I am still upset that I watched it. So I'm throwing it on the list.
Got to watch some bad ones to appreciate the good ones.
Did I tell you I watched The Beauty and the Beast last night? Not the one you're thinking of. I watched the 50s French one. Did I tell you that?
No.
Oh, I did.
Why would you watch?
It happened. It's pretty good, actually.
That happened.
It's pretty good, actually. I'm not going to lie. Would I recommend
wasn't
it?
a cartoon, was it?
No, if it was live action, black and white, French, all the things you like. But it does a really good job of telling the story. The ending is a little interesting, I think, compared to what the actual ending is. Because you're like, maybe the Beast is a bad guy. Because you come to like him, you know?
Yeah.
You're like, was he in on that?
I don't
know how the cartoon ends. Do you?
know.
I was talking to
I
my
actually
girlfriend,
saw
and I was like, "Does this happen in the cartoon?" And she
What
said
happened?
no. So there's
Didn't he become a non-beast or
yeah, he
something?
becomes a prince
Okay.
looking guy. But in this one, he changes into the skin of the guy who died trying to, like, not recapture her, but save her. But she came there of her own.
Volition.
Yeah, so recapture maybe is apropos. But yeah, I liked it because I'm like, ooh, was this an elaborate ruse to get a like human skin, not be a beast anymore? Because the girl was never gonna go with him so long as he looked like the Beast, and it just so happened to be the guy that she also likes is like the skin he takes. It just fit too well together. It makes you question, like,
His motives?
yeah, did he pre-plan this? Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. You be the judge. I don't know. You've been on your
never
phone
watched
there.
it.
You've been on your phone there for a little bit. Is there's
It's a bikini thing.
Miami. You looking at men in bikinis?
Yeah, I love that.
Do you have?
Did I say that out loud?
Hey, you'll be rejoiced for it. Maybe they'll make a movie about you.
Mild-mannered older man discovers he likes men in bikinis. Does that make him a great person? Yes. And we'll make a musical out of it.
I think so too. I think accepting your. Shut up. We like to have fun here.
We have fun.
Any additional movies you want to throw out there?
Yeah, Jack and Jill is awful. Staying Alive was notoriously awful.
So, I haven't seen either of those. I do have to mention, I give my girlfriend a lot of guff
Yeah.
because her mom likes Jack and Jill.
I've only saw part of it. It just, I mean, I know it's just well known for being terrible.
Being bad.
But Sandler, he made that, and then what was it? The something 6. It was a take on
The
Pink Floyd.
Magnificent Six, I think.
Yeah, that's supposed to be really awful too.
Yeah,
He just makes films with his friends. He just gets
Which-
his friends. Well, I mean, no, I'm not.
if
there's
I
nothing
could,
wrong
I
with it.
would.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a good guy,
And then
so I think that's why he does it.
every now and then,
They're good. they're good ones.
motherfucker shows us
Yeah,
that he's legit.
yeah.
He was really good in
Cut Gems.
Uncut Gems. I say it that way because there's this girl, she was on a podcast,
Yeah.
and she said that she was like Benny Safdie's muse.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, I was his muse during Uncut Gems. That's how I have to say it from now on. She sounds like such a fucking airhead. And he was good in Punch Drunk Love,
Yeah, yeah.
which I would recommend that if you have
I
not.
saw part of it.
That's one you
known
should watch the whole way.
Watching parts of many movies.
Because that one
Stitch
is
them all
like,
together into one big movie.
it is like very funny in a non-Sandler way. Like, you know, you're used to,
Yeah, I mean, he definitely wasn't his comical self in that.
yeah, but it's still,
Doesn't he? He's got a temper problem.
yeah.
Okay.
There's some moments that are like maybe the funniest Sandler moments in it, but you watch it like because
But it's not a comedy though.
no.
Yeah.
The fluctuation of emotions is like so the peaks and valleys that it takes you through are so varied that as I was watching I was like, I don't know if I was supposed to laugh at some of those moments, but some of them were hilarious.
Yeah.
Like and I'm spoiling this for you, unfortunately. It's so funny. I'm not doing it justice. he has a shit ton of sisters, like 6, and they're like picking on him, and he's just kind of silently taking it because he's like, he's mild mannered until he snaps.
Yeah.
And he snaps, so he's just taking it, and he punches the window out, and they're like, "What are you, fucking retarded?" But it's the perfect line and the perfect delivery because it's like a beat and a half after he does it. They're all making fun of him. Boom, knocks out the window, silence. What are you, fucking retarded? And
Maybe I will watch that.
And Philip Seymour Hoffman's in it, and it's one of his best, like, little roles, and he has a ton of those.
Well, I do love him. Yeah, maybe I did. Like I said, I did start to watch it. I know the female actress in it.
Yeah, I think she plays the blind girl in Red Dragon.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that, and she's also in Dune, the series on.
Dune Messiah.
I think it's called that. Yeah.
Any good?
I haven't watched it. I've
okay.
seen it. They show the thing, and I'm like, I know that actress. I started to read that book, Dune Messiah. I wonder if it's any good or not. Like the series, I'm not going to read the book again for sure.
Yeah, you got to keep the people posted on TV because that's not my forte anymore.
Well, I'm not. I'm like fair at it. I remember one time somebody asked me, "Well, I guess you just got done watching the Hell on Wheels." I'm like, I don't even know what that is.
That's such a bold proclamation. They're like, so I know you just finished.
Don't ever assume that. I hate people that do that. Or one time this guy said, "Well, I know you're going to be watching the Masters." I'm like, I hate.
Do I look gay?
So bad.
And that is not. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, but look, not everybody. Even if I liked golf, wouldn't mean I'd spend a nice afternoon
watching it. Yeah, my roommate in college played golf in high school, and
they talk about it way too much.
I was like, this is like, you like it because it's like low stakes and calm. He's like, no, man. He's like, when they're down 1 and they're trying to putt for a birdie, man.
It's like Russian roulette.
I'm like, okay, but there's other sports.
You should have said, okay, yeah.
And it's someone who likes football and hockey, and it's like, you know what I'm fucking saying, dude. It's like, this isn't the same.
Yeah.
I get it. There's drama to certain shots, but that's not until like later in the game. I've never.
You don't hear people screaming. I'll say that. Go turn in. I tell you, it's funny when you turn into a football game and it goes directly into the game and not into a commercial. You just immediately hear a roar. There's always a roar of the crowd. Doesn't matter. It could be during the national anthem. You turn on a football game and you know, hey, this is a football game without even looking.
Mm-hmm. Well, if Taylor Swift's there too, you know it's a football game.
Well, that's the only reason people go, right?
Yeah.
So I guess they're engaged.
Because they don't know which game she's going to show up to.
She goes to random games.
She might be there.
She'll go to a couple games at one Sunday.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
She's kind of like the, what is it? The Walt Disney of Sunday entertainment. That's what I've heard her described by Rolling Stones magazine.
Say that again?
She's the Walt Disney of Sunday entertainment.
Okay. I don't know what that means.
I've also heard her called...
Are you making these up because...
Wall Street Jesus?
Yeah, you are making them. These are going over like a lead balloon. They call her the Joan of Arc of lawn darts.
Hey, Joan of Arc. The Passion of Joan of Arc. That is a good silent movie.
No, it isn't.
Dude, some silent movies
you're becoming
have to be
a
good.
snob. You're becoming
I'm not
pretentious.
I'm not saying
yes, you
go
are.
watch it. If you don't
if
like
it's a good movie, I think you are.
Well, if you're gonna watch a silent movie, that would be one that I would watch.
Okay.
Or Charlie Chaplin has some that are good.
Little Dictator.
I haven't seen that yet. I think that might be in sound. So I've heard the speech from that, I think. Or is that a different one? He doesn't have the mustache in it. Is that the Little Dictator?
I don't know.
Oh,
I know
you're
he's
just
in the
saying
movie.
you're just saying a name of a movie.
Yeah.
To Tramp. I don't think I've seen that, but it's supposed to be good.
No. They're dated beyond belief.
Yeah, in your defense, silent movies are the ones that I would say, like, look,
If you have
I'm not gonna
absolutely nothing
yeah, I'm
else
not going
to
to
watch.
recommend it. If you want to watch silent movies, I can tell you the few that I've seen and liked. But it really is it's just a different medium.
Yeah.
It's film, but there's so much different that, yeah, if you're like, I don't like any silent movies, I'd say, okay, I mean, you have a point. You can't get too deep. It's very difficult to have deep, meaningful discussion without dialogue. I think Joan of Arc works because there is so much known going into it. And they have a lot of title cards probably compared to like Charlie Chaplin movies. Because in that, there's like a
actual
few.
title cards in it?
Some dialogue was done via, they would write it out on, I don't.
I know what you mean.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's a really old movie then.
Yeah, it was 20s. I mean, you got to think, dude, silent. Because I think in the 30s, movies started using sound.
Yeah, I think that's probably right. And even then, it wasn't like immediate transfer, I don't think. Well, that's probably over a year or two. I mean, after a while, it's like, well, we got to go with sound. I mean, these other ones are.
Speak up.
These other ones are, and we're not. And they sound better or they're more interesting than our movies are. I saw Hollywood Babylon. I think it was called Hollywood Babylon.
There's just one called Babylon.
Okay, that's it. Oh my God, was that bad? But anyway, that showed the introduction of sound. It was about other things, but one of them was it was a time period when they went from silent movies into talkies, which is what they called them at the time.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was a huge breakthrough. I don't know why they didn't think it would have been, but they didn't know. They didn't really know if it would be or not, if it'd be that big a deal or not.
Yeah, so true. Okay, and here's a funny thing.
Probably assume that, but
I don't know why my mind just naturally went here, but we're going to make our way back to Emilia Perez, unfortunately. Or fortunately, I don't know. But, so you have sound introduced, and it seems like the natural extension is you're like, let's go musical. People like music. People like movies.
right.
Let's do a musical. And then there's like a heyday of that.
Yeah.
That was a big thing.
Yeah.
And then maybe it got kind of played out like the Western.
Yeah.
We're seeing, I don't know if I would say a renaissance, but it seems like artistically that is the avenue to lean towards if you want to be
Musical?
more artistic. Yeah, it's like I think doing a musical in 2024 or 2025 is almost looked at, help me kind of verbal, but it's like it's not art house, but you're more,
Avant-garde?
maybe that might be the word to describe it, but it's like, oh man, like it's
It's
just
West Side
applauded
Story,
for
but that's a
doing.
remake. Yeah, it's
like, oh,
you
they
have
made
to
this. They
be-
made this into a musical. Like, oh,
But
that's.
I think
that takes
there's
some-
people that like musicals and people that don't. I mean, I don't think you can make a true drama out of a musical or make a musical a true drama. I don't. You can't make it into a horror movie.
What about Shawshank Redemption 2? Or not that? Fuck. What was it?
Oh, the Joker?
No, it's about the Holocaust, but the second one's a musical.
Schindler's List 2?
Yeah, that one went good.
There isn't a Schindler's List 2, is there?
No, but it's funny to think there is.
Did you ever see The Producers?
I want to watch that.
You should watch the original, the one with
Gene
Wilder and Zero Mostel. Yeah, because they're funny.
Yeah, the dude who does it, he's the director of Young Frankenstein. He's in Blazing Saddles.
Mel Brooks.
Yeah, he
Oh, I
does
think
the
you're right.
producers. Yeah,
Yeah, okay. I think I would be him, yeah. He was funny, Mel Brooks.
his movies are
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah, he's a funny guy. But
That's based on an actual play. The producers, so it's meta, right? That the producers, the plot is they try to put on an unsuccessful play
Because they'll make more money at doing they like oversell it, or I don't know, but they were getting people to donate or buy into it. Whatever.
And it gets ran out of town after the first weekend, so it's like you just get all that money
Right.
without having to put on performance after performance.
But
it's a success.
yeah. But one of the songs from it, they want to do something really super distasteful. So it was "Springtime for Hitler and Germany," and all these women dressed up and shit. And it was like, oh my god. But then the guy they have who is supposedly funny, because he wasn't all that funny, but I don't know. They end up going to
Song
prison.
is still funny.
I remember that. I always remember "Springtime for Hitler in Germany" because it sound like it's a joyful thing.
Oh, that's good. No, I like. There will be a comedy renaissance. I think you need to be able to tell jokes like that. They're so funny, and they.
Oh yeah, but all the cancel culture has diminished your ability to do that, but it will come back. Mm-hmm. Where it's like, okay, you can make fun of people now.
Yeah, I think we're on
Not completely, because
I think we're on the precipice of that, quite frankly.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's really cool when you get glimpses of that in newer movies. Where you're like, oh, that was actually, they just said something actually funny. But there's nothing, at least that I've seen, that's legit just the whole time is funny.
Yeah. Yeah, it's faded a bit, the comedies. And the comedies are trying to do now. It's like that's not even funny. It's stupid.
Yeah, it's I don't know. Maybe it's my skewed one, and you'll immediately just be like, you're fucking gay and stupid, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's Nora, and it's about a young sex worker from Brooklyn gets a chance at a Cinderella story when she meets and impulsively marries the son of an Russian oligarch. Once the news reaches Russia, her fairy tale is threatened as the parents set out for New York to get the marriage annulled. So like the first half of the movie is like that Cinderella story, and then when it falls apart, there's some moments that I found to be pretty funny.
No, I could play. I mean, I'm not familiar with it. I'm not even aware of it, but it could be funny.
It's currently in my top 5. I'm pretty sure it's got Oscar nominations, rightfully so. And there's funny and I didn't realize it was a comedy going in the second half. It's like, what the fuck? Like it started to like
so
pick.
funny?
Yeah.
Is this supposed to be funny? I thought this was a drama.
Like A Real Pain by Jesse Eisenberg. It's a comedy. There's some
Is that with
funny...
him with another guy and they're going
Yeah,
somewhere?
it's Macaulay Culkin's brother.
Oh, that's why that guy looked familiar. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
I
mean, it's not funny.
He's a jerk.
Which one? Jesse Eisenberg?
Yeah.
He does come off like that. He's so leaning into like the neurotic. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't have.
Well, I mean, that's like, other characters.
That's the way you gotta.
Yeah. I saw the previews for that. And,
Larry David does that really well.
Oh, yeah.
As a character.
Yeah.
And George does too.
There's a clip, and I wasn't able to watch it, but for Larry David, I shows up on Judge Judy.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
He didn't water plants or something.
Yeah, it's a ficus or something. I only saw the beginning of it, and I didn't have the sound on, so because I was in school, I couldn't. But I'm like, I have to watch this. It's those two together. You talk about just extreme.
Yeah. Well, because he's charismatic on top of being neurotic.
Yeah, but then they show his wife. It's like, what is he doing?
Is she
didn't-
watching him on
She's
TV?
watching him on TV. She didn't know. So it was so funny.
What? I didn't want the Vegas. What do you want?
He can be so. I saw him in one movie, and Michael Keaton's in it too. And it's parts of it are funny.
I remember you watching it. He has a beard in it, I think.
Yeah, in the beginning, and then later he's like his actual look. But he in the beginning they design a car, and he wanted a pee hole in the car. And the other guy, no, we're not doing that. So he left because that's him. He gets angry. So the guy ends up designing is a super successful, and it's really hideous looking. And, but anyways, very successful. And then later, he kind of meets up with this guy. The guy doesn't know it's him, and he wants to get revenge on him and stuff. And I don't know how it turns out, but I would like to. I didn't see the ending of it, so
Maybe worth watching.
yeah.
But I will say, for every really bad movie, I mean, I think if you follow the right people, a la me,
And me,
we'll
Mostly
lead you.
him, though.
We'll lead you to the promised land.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what movies to watch, and I know, like, especially, and look, if you listen this far, you're a diehard
yeah,
for sure. You're a 1%er of the channel, and by golly, I appreciate you.
sure.
But
Die Hard fans,
so you probably are. Do you agree
heavily
with?
medicated in a hospital bed somewhere.
They probably agree with a lot of the shit we say.
Yeah,
I watch stuff. It doesn't matter what socially it talks about. I've watched movies from fucking communist Russia, from communist directors, whatever. But if it's good, I'm gonna give it a try.
yeah,
You know whether you're able to bridge that gap or not. I'm always, I want to appreciate the art. I don't give a fuck about the artist.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that goes for actors, directors, what have you. You know, if Disney makes a really good movie, I'm not just going to be like, oh, fucking
Oh
Disney.
no, either am I. I don't care.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I'm not a huge Disney fan because of some of the stupid things they did. I mean, they're an entertainment company and they kind of got off the rails there, but I mean, that's their choice to do. But it does change the way you think about them a little bit. But if they have a good movie, I'll watch it.
Yeah. And so follow me on Letterboxd. I'll post all my ratings and reviews there. You'll see what's good. And hopefully that helps you discover a lot of shit. Because I like to kind of test and I like going on the Criterion channel and just like, hey, is this...
Check us out.
Exactly. It's different, or, it's more expanding outwards towards shit I haven't watched before.
Yeah.
And I enjoy that. And I think if you follow us, not only you're going to pick up on the pop culture stuff, the mainstream stuff, commenting on that, like the bullshit that is Emilia Perez, but you're going to discover a lot of shit too. So I think it's mutually beneficial, and enjoy the ride.
Yeah. Buckle up.
Yeah, buckle up, buckaroos. We'll catch you on the next